What's up, good people? So if you are watching this video, you clicked on the thumbnail, and no, this is not clickbait. I have been on YouTube since 2019. I became monetized in 2021. And since that time, the lifetime of my channel, I've made $543. So today I'm going to share with you what I've done right, clearly what I did wrong, and based off of all this information, what I plan to do in the future. So hey, I'm Michelle Farley. I am a writer, an author, a filmmaker, a creative entrepreneur. And since 2019, I have been uploading my content to YouTube, not consistently. And being a person that has a communications background, I know the importance of showing up, of being seen, of having new content. But you know, when life starts life and in your own personal life, things take a seat. And so today I'm going to do something that I definitely have been avoiding, and I am going to show you the numbers, what videos actually helped me make the $564, what videos I know that I probably should not make again, and with all of this data, what I plan to do moving forward. So a little backstory. So my background is in communications and digital strategy. I spent a lot of years as a copywriter. I still have a freelance copywriting business. So a lot of my videos were centered around copywriting. Those who were copywriters or those who were looking to become a copywriter who wanted to get into the field. I also wrote a children's book, and so I had a few videos about self-publishing and that whole journey with my first and second book. And then there's this creative side where I write screenplays, and currently working on a short film, but I also uploaded a 2-part documentary about caretaking in the Black community. So I want to be clear, once I got monetized, my RPM stayed pretty steady between $8 and $10. The rate to me is very solid, especially for the type of niche that I'm in. So that was never the issue. The issue was volume and the lack of consistency coming from me. So when I sat down and really looked at my analytics, not just the money, but looked at how each video performed, what video did well, which one sucked, or not sucked, but which ones people didn't want to see, I realized that my content is really resonates in 3 different buckets. The first type is writing and self-publishing, personal storytelling, and creative entrepreneurship. If I stay in my lane in these 3 buckets, I believe that my channel will grow. So what I've learned is that my self-publishing content and my copywriting content is my evergreen content. People are constantly searching for how to write a children's book, how to find a graphic designer, should you do which print press should you use, how do you get your stuff copyrighted, all those different things. People are looking for my content, and that has enabled me to consistently make money from those types of videos. So going forward, I'm definitely going to be doing more content like that, as well as my copywriting videos. So the videos where I either share copywriting tips or give advice to those who are looking to get into freelance copywriting as either a side job or as a full-time career. The creative entrepreneurship piece. People are really excited to know, like a person who is a writer and an author and a filmmaker, how do you make money from this? What do you do that's different from other people, and how they can do the same? So those types of videos definitely resonate with my audience, and I am going to keep now that I know that, and now that I have that information, I am going to consistently make that type of content because I know that it's something valuable. And last but not least, personal storytelling. And this is where I really share the projects that are dear to me, that I created and that I share on YouTube. So currently I have a 2-part documentary called Caught in the Middle, and it is about Black women caretakers in the sandwich generation. That has really resonated with a lot of people. And this is one of the reasons why my YouTube channel is actually getting more views and traffic, is because I released part 1 in middle of February, and I released part 2 in the early part of April. And so people have found my content because of the documentary, and now they're wanting more, which is leading me to be like, girl, get your stuff together. So my personal storytelling also includes behind the scenes of current projects and projects that are coming up. And so people are maybe be inspired by that, or they're looking to do the same thing. And so I've seen my numbers increase with that. So if you sat through all that, you're like, okay, girl, so you made some mistakes, you saw what you did wrong. What you gonna do going forward? I'm glad you asked. This is what I'm going to do. And I'm saying it here so I can be held accountable. Okay, so starting now, I am committed to producing one long form video, which would be about 8 to 10 minutes, and 2 short form videos each week for the next 120 days. That'll be my output. And then it's not like I have to reinvent the wheel. So my long form content, I'm going to make that into short form content and share it. My short form content, I'm going to share that on all my platforms and tie it back to my long form video or a video that I already have on my channel that resonated with my audience. Again, I'm going to go back to my 3 buckets. The first bucket is my personal storytelling. This is where I'm going to show behind the scenes of me making my short narrative film, Chosen. You're going to get behind the scenes footage. I'm also going to do some long form videos about production as we get closer to the production date. My second bucket is going to be writing and self-publishing. Why? Because the data and the analytics already told me is that people come to my channel looking for more information about that. And so I'm going to give the people what they want, child. And the third is creative reinvention / creative entrepreneurship. Those videos did really well on my channel. I'm a woman over 40. I'll be 45 next month. And I understand what it feels like to have a dream, a purpose, and a passion, and a thought, an idea, and also have the responsibilities of a career, of a marriage, of children, and other responsibilities, and not knowing if this is something that you can do or can you have it all. And so I want to have more content about that because I think, I think and I know that that is something that resonates with the type of audience that finds me. And so I'm going to do more content around that. So, and finally, I'm committing myself to creating an email list. Like I said before, if all of this went away, I would have no way to stay in contact with my community. So, and I know in order to get something, you got to give something. So, if you see the link below, if you are interested in self-publishing and specifically a children's book or you're aspiring children's author, I have a small PDF of actionable steps that you can take this week to get you started, and also list my 5 mistakes that I made as a first-time self-publishing author of a children's book. What I've learned, what could be better. It's a quick and easy read to help you get started. It's not the end-all be-all, but it will definitely get you on the right track. So this is what I'm going to do. In 120 days, I'm going to come back to you. Now that should be late September. I'm gonna open up my analytics. I'm gonna show you all the data. I'm gonna show you what I made, what I didn't make, what worked really well, and what maybe didn't work well. Because I think honesty is the best policy. I think being vulnerable helps me move the needle of my engagement and my intent. And if this is something that you want to watch, if you have a question, if you want to see the journey, maybe you want to see the other content that I mentioned, I would ask that you watch, subscribe, hit that notification bell to know when a new video drops. If not, just come back in 120 days. Tell your friends. All right. Till next time we speak, I wish you peace, joy, blessings, love, all that beautiful stuff. And we'll talk real soon. Bye. One more thing before you go. If you have some time, check out these videos. These were my most popular videos on YouTube, my evergreen content that helped me make that $543. And if you take a look at them, you'll see that I was in my house chilling, making a smoothie, sitting in the backyard. And these have been my most successful videos. One about my children's book and the other about my sister locks. So I say all that to say is that you don't have to have all the best cameras, the best lighting. All you really need is something to say and an audience that's willing to listen. All right. Now I'm gone. Bye.